The movie starts with an 8-year-old boy named Yuan who hears the doctor's verdict with his own ears. The doctor tells his parents that Yuan has been diagnosed with congenital heart disease. He says that unless Yuan receives a heart transplant, he is unlikely to live past 20. Xiaojian, his best friend, also overhears this cruel truth. From that moment on, Yuan understands that their love has an expiration date and that fate has already decided its ending. Xiaojian refuses to accept it. Wanting to stay with Yuan forever, she searches everywhere for a 4-leaf clover to make a wish. When she finally finds one, she breaks down in tears, clutching it as if it were the only cure in the world. In her childish belief, the wish has already come true. She rushes home and excitedly pulls open the curtains, pretending to make a wedding dress. She dreams of a future she truly believes will arrive. As time passes, the promise of childhood quietly turns into something deeper. The two grow up together, and their relationship slowly changes from pure friendship into innocent love. However, the long scar on Yuan's chest constantly reminds him of the cruel reality. He must go for regular checkups and avoid intense exercise. These limits never really leave him. During middle school, they studied on the same campus. Yuan excels academically, while Xiaojian struggles with grades but shines in sports. One day after physical education class, a group of naughty boys deliberately splashed water on Xiaojian. Her white t-shirt becomes soaked, and her undergarment shows through. Embarrassed, she squats on the ground. When the boys refuse to apologize, Yuan places his coat over her shoulders. In that moment, his suppressed anger explodes. Ignoring his weak heart, Yuan rushes forward and fights the bullies. Xiaojian panics. She is terrified that his heart condition might relapse. She quickly pulls him away and takes him to the infirmary. The doctor confirms that nothing serious has happened, but guilt fills Yuan's heart. He feels that he cannot even protect the girl he loves. He believes that one day he will only become her burden. As this despair grows stronger, Yuan makes the most painful decision of his life. He chooses to distance himself from Xiaojian and applies to a technical high school that she cannot enter because of her grades. In his mind, creating distance is the only way to cut off their feelings and allow her to live a normal life without him. He believes that letting go is the greatest love he can give. However, at the opening ceremony of the new school year, Yuan finally realizes how deeply he has underestimated Xiaojian's determination. He is shocked to see Xiaojian standing on stage as the student representative. Seeing his confusion, she tells him that he must be wondering how she got admission in the school and earned this position. She explains that she hires 10 private tutors and slowly transforms herself from a weak student into a top achiever. What shocks Yuan even more is that Xiaojian publicly declares her love in front of the entire school. Standing on the stage, she openly tells him that he will never get rid of her, not in 10 years, not even in 100 years. She says that one day she will wear the most beautiful wedding dress, and it will be only for him. Her fearless confession instantly shatters Yuan's carefully built plan to run away from love once again. Xiaojian's lonely yet stubborn courage leaves the entire school stunned. No one expects such bold honesty. Even Ling Gu, the widely admired school idol, cannot help but be drawn to her sincerity and strength. From that moment on, Xiaojian follows Yuan everywhere like a shadow. She insists on staying by his side every single day, no matter what. She even skips classes just to accompany him to the hospital for his regular checkups, refusing to let him face his illness alone. However, neither of them expects that the appearance of another girl quietly begins to change everything. After one hospital visit, they meet Taro Uehara, a female patient who suffers from the same heart disease as Yuan. Because Xiaojian's father, Dr. Takahito Taneda, works at the hospital, the three gradually become acquainted. The shared illness creates a deep emotional connection for Yuan as he finally meets someone who truly understands his condition. At the same time, it awakens an unfamiliar and painful jealousy in Xiaojian's heart. On the bus ride home, her jealousy slowly turns into a stomachache. What upsets her even more is that when she goes to look for Yuan the next day, she hears that he has gone to the hospital again without telling her. Frustrated and hurt, she storms out of the classroom. Suddenly, she collides with Ling Gu in the hallway. Ling Gu immediately reaches out and pulls her up. The surrounding girls scream in excitement, as it is a scene many of them dream of. But Xiaojian does not hesitate or step back. She brushes the dust off her clothes and turns away, planning to leave. The more she ignores Ling Gu, the stronger his interest in her becomes. He introduces himself politely, but she shows no interest and walks away without looking back. Meanwhile, Yuan stays at the hospital until nightfall before finally returning to school. At the dormitory entrance, he unexpectedly runs into Linggu. Linggu takes the opportunity to call him to the playground. There, he speaks calmly and seriously. He says that he understands heart disease far better than Yuan thinks. He explains that his own father once suffered from the same illness and died while waiting for a suitable donor. He adds that his mother still breaks down whenever she remembers him. Linggu then bluntly warns Yuan that if he disappears one day, Xiaojian will fall into endless darkness. To stop her from experiencing the same unbearable pain again, Linggu admits that he plans to pursue her while Yuan is still alive. He directly asks if Yuan comes to this school only to push her away and break her heart. Linggu's words pierce straight into Yuan's heart. The next day, during physical education class, Yuan watches Linggu running freely across the field. Seeing Linggu's healthy and normal life, Yuan finally understands a painful truth. No matter how much he loves Xiaojian, he knows he can never give her the normal and carefree life she truly deserves. To temporarily escape the heavy pressure in his heart, Yuan chooses to visit Teru Uehara at the hospital. On the way, he jumps over a fence, and at that moment, a drawing slips out of his pocket and falls to the ground. Xiaojian notices it, picks it up, and is shocked to see that Yuan still keeps the drawing she made for him when they were children. Meanwhile, Yuan sits in the hospital room with Teru Uehara. He tells her that he wants to show her something special, a drawing he calls his lucky charm, but as he reaches into his pocket, he suddenly realizes that the drawing is missing. He searches again, but it is nowhere to be found. Teru then quietly shares her regret about her own life. She says she has never experienced love and believes that once surgery leaves scars on her chest, no one will ever like her. Hearing her words, Yuan gently comforts her. He tells her not to think that way and honestly praises her beauty, trying to ease her pain. However, this kindness causes Teru's emotions to cross a line. Wanting to leave behind at least one proof that she was once loved, she suddenly leans forward and kisses him. In that moment, Yuan hesitates. Facing someone who may die at any time, he finds it impossible to be completely heartless. Thinking about Xiaojian's constant devotion and everything he owes her, he still fails to pull away in time. Later, Yuan does not hide the truth from Xiaojian. He tells her everything. Yet no matter how much he explains, she cannot accept that her boyfriend has been kissed by another girl. Overwhelmed by pain and anger, she throws his childhood drawing to the ground and, for the first time, asks to break up with him. After Xiaojian becomes single, Linggu finally sees his chance. He approaches her through the archery club and tries to interact with her, but she firmly refuses. She clearly tells him that the only person she loves in this world is Yuan. Linggu jokingly says that Yuan will be dead in a few years because of his heart condition. Hearing this cruel remark, Xiaojian becomes furious and slaps him. Even her sharp slap does not make Linggu retreat. Instead, he becomes even more persistent. One day, he openly hugs Xiaojian in front of others. Embarrassed and angry, she pushes him away and demands that he stay away from her. From a distance, Yuan sees them standing close together. The sight cuts deeply into his heart, yet he knows he has no right to interfere. Soon after, Yuan returns to the hospital once again, only to find an empty bed. A nurse quietly tells him that Teru Uehara died from a sudden heart attack the night before. At that moment, his final emotional defense completely collapses. What he sees is no longer just the death of a patient, but a cruel reflection of his own future. This loss hits him like a heavy hammer and finally wakes him up. After calming himself down, Yuan begins to seriously think about life, death, and love. He realizes that what he has now is Xiaojian's unwavering devotion. If he continues to run away, he will only waste his short life and betray the love she gives him without hesitation. Therefore, after returning to school, Yuan challenges Linggu to a 100-meter race. This time, he decides to stop running from fate and start fighting for the person he loves. He clearly states that if he loses, he will step aside forever. But if he wins, Linggu must never approach Xiaojian again. As the starting gun fires, both of them sprint forward at the same time. One is a powerful athlete, the other is a heart patient risking his life with every single step. At first, Yuan has almost no chance of winning. Linggu's speed is overwhelming, and his victory seems certain from the very beginning. Step by step, Linggu pulls ahead, and everyone believes the race is already decided. But in the final moments, something unexpected happens. Yuan gathers every bit of strength left in his body and surges forward in a last desperate sprint. Against all odds, he overtakes Linggu at the finish line. Even though he pushes his body far beyond its limit, this race is never about winning for himself. It is about love. It is about proving that he is willing to risk everything for the person he loves most. As Linggu watches him collapse at the finish line, his respect for Yuan quietly grows. In that moment, he finally believes that Yuan is truly worthy of Xiaojian's love. That night, Yuan goes to the girls' dormitory. He holds Xiaojian's hand tightly, refusing to let go. They say nothing about the future, and they do not speak of illness or death. In the stillness of the night, they simply hold onto each other and merge their lives most completely and intimately, as if time itself has paused just for them. The next day, they plan to climb over the school fence to sneak out and visit Teru Uehara's grave. They are unaware that Linggu also plans to climb the fence for his own reasons. When they meet, Linggu casually explains that he already has a girlfriend outside of school and is heading out on a date. He adds that they can remain friends from now on, then turns and walks away, leaving everything behind. Soon after, Yuan goes to the hospital with his parents. There, the doctor delivers life-changing news. An organ donation has finally been matched. Hearing this, Yuan allows himself to dream for the first time. He imagines a normal life, a life where he can exercise freely, live fully beside Xiaojian, and one day place a wedding ring on her finger. Tears fall without warning as hope fills his heart. However, while waiting for the operation, Xiaojian notices several classmates crying in the hospital hallway. Curious and uneasy, she asks what has happened. She soon learns that Linggu has been in a serious car accident and has been declared brain dead. Shocked, she immediately goes to her father, Dr. Takahito Taneda, to confirm the news. At this moment, she still does not know that Linggu's heart is the one being prepared for Yuan. The truth slowly unfolds. Earlier that day, Linggu ran a red light, causing the fatal accident. His father, honoring his wishes, signs the organ donation agreement. Xiaojian is instantly torn apart. On one side, Linggu lies unconscious in a hospital bed. On the other hand, he represents the only hope for Yuan's survival and the future they dream of together. She struggles under the crushing moral weight of this secret. Yet, when she sees how eagerly Yuan looks forward to their life after surgery, she makes a painful decision. She chooses to keep the truth hidden, even though it feels unbearably cruel. Meanwhile, fate seems determined to test them once more. As Xiaojian stands outside Yuan's hospital ward, she sees two of Linggu's classmates speaking quietly with Yuan inside. The sight sends a chill through her heart, adding yet another layer of tension and uncertainty to everything that lies ahead. They tell Yuan that Linggu was in a car accident the night before. Hearing this, Yuan's heart starts pounding, and he instinctively rushes out of the ward. On the way, he runs into Xiaojian. When he sees her avoiding his eyes, he immediately realizes that she has been hiding her fear and grief from him. Without saying a word, he takes her to the rooftop. There, Yuan stands firm. He clearly shows that he cannot accept the surgery. He cannot bear the idea of surviving by relying on another person's death. In that moment, the depth of his love becomes clear. It is not only his devotion to Xiaojian, but also his respect for life itself. He decides that he would rather walk calmly toward the end of his life than live by taking something so precious from someone else. Meanwhile, Linggu lies unconscious in the ICU. A tear slowly rolls down from the corner of his eye. The doctors explain it as a spinal nerve reflex, but his mother sees it as a sign of hope. She believes he is still alive and refuses to donate his heart. When the doctor delivers this decision to Yuan's parents, everyone is shocked and devastated. Only Yuan feels strangely calm and relieved. He gently asks if he can return to school. His voice is filled with hope as he tells his parents that they should go home now. However, later that night, his condition suddenly worsens. His breathing becomes unstable and his heartbeat weakens. Luckily, he is rushed to the hospital in time for emergency treatment and escapes death once again. Watching Yuan lying helplessly on the bed, Xiaojian can no longer bear waiting for fate to decide his life. She knows that without a heart donation, one day he may be taken from her forever. In despair, she rushes into Linggu's ward, kneels before his family, and begs them through tears to save Yuan. Although they understand her pain, they cannot agree. Linggu's grandfather insists that he saw Linggu's fingers move that morning. Even if it is only a reflex, to the family it represents hope. It is a sign that a miracle might still be possible and they cannot give up. That night, the hospital corridors fall silent. Xiaojian sits outside Yuan's ward, desperately holding back her tears. Inside the room, Yuan lies quietly on the hospital bed, praying to God for another chance. He does not pray only to survive, but to live fully, with Xiaojian by his side. At that moment, it feels as if the four-leaf clover from their childhood finally answers his prayer, granting him one last chance to embrace life. When Xiao Jian enters the ward, she is stunned to see Yuan looking healthy and strong, with no visible signs of illness. He smiles warmly and tells her that it is time to go. Confused and worried, she asks where they are going, thinking his condition has suddenly improved. Yuan jokingly replies that they are going on a honeymoon. Yuan feels that his body has never been this strong before. Under his insistence, they finally visit the amusement park they have dreamed of for years. They ride roller coasters, screaming and laughing like ordinary couples. They cheer for dolphins, walk along the beach at sunset, and finally return to the grassland of their childhood, the place where they first believed their lives were forever connected. Standing on that field, surrounded by wild grass and memories, Yuan knows that this day is borrowed from God. With the last strength of his life, he gives Xiao Jian his will, a quiet farewell written for her alone. That night, when they return to the hospital, Yuan's condition rapidly worsens. Xiao Jian stands outside the ward, praying silently, but this time, no prayer can stop death. Yuan leaves her forever. Unable to enter the room, she runs to the rooftop, clutching her chest as grief overwhelms her. When she can barely breathe, her hand touches the will in her pocket. Trembling, she opens it. Inside, she finds not only a promise of marriage, but also a personal letter written just for her. As she reads, tears fall freely, and it feels as if Yuan is standing right in front of her, pouring the last warmth of his life into every word. Beneath the letter, she finds the four-leaf clover she has collected over the years. With a tearful smile, she finally lets her grief flow. In the end, Xiao Jian receives Yuan's ashes from his parents. Wearing a pure white wedding dress, she walks alone into a church. There are no guests, no family blessings, and no groom. She holds the altar tightly, places a ring on her finger, and offers it to her love in another world. In her heart, she completes the marriage they once promised each other. And this is how the beautiful story ends. We hope this story touches your heart. If you enjoy it, please like, share, and subscribe to support us.